I'm somebody who loves to eat, but when it comes to cooking, all the grocery shopping, prep work, and the worst part in my opinion, the cleanup, makes it feel like such a chore. Now, if I had a huge family to be feeding every day, I'd suck it up and put on my chef's apron. But for little old me, I was really on the lookout for a mealtime solution that would be convenient and healthy, but still give me enough energy to get through the day. So I decided to look into online meal delivery services to see if the food actually tastes as good as people say. And after sampling a few, Factor75 really stood out from the rest. So today I'll take you through what Factor75 is all about. I'll cover what sort of options they offer, how much their plans cost, and how they compare to other alternatives, as well as some pros and cons. So hopefully by the end of this video, you'll be able to decide if they're the right fit for you or not. All right, now if you haven't heard of Factor75 or just Factor as they're better known, they're a health-focused meal delivery service that ships chef-prepared meals right to your door. They all come pre-cooked and just need to be heated up in your microwave or oven for a few minutes to enjoy. Now, the cool thing about Factor is that they use organic ingredients in their meals, which means you don't have the usual GMOs, hormones, preservatives, or refined sugars that you'd find in pre-cooked meals from other companies. Plus, their meat comes from grass-fed and pasture-raised sources, and you can count on the chicken to be humanely raised. So once a Factor shipment arrives at your door, all you have to do is pierce the plastic film of the package and put it in the microwave for just a couple minutes. There's also the option to remove the cover completely and pop the meal into the oven for around 5 or 10 minutes or so, which is something I'd recommend if you're not in a hurry. But please just remember to take out any sauce containers from your meals before you heat them up, since they're not heat friendly and will definitely cause a mess. I've done it before a few times myself, unfortunately. Now, let's get into the meals themselves. So I went and ordered 4 Factor meals that shipped over in one box. And the very first thing I tried was the Indian butter tofu with lentils and rice, which was really tasty. It reminded me of the one I always order at my favorite Indian restaurant. And to be honest, the only difference I really noticed was that the one I ordered from Factor was just a tad less spicy, but I could really taste the cilantro and marinated yogurt. Then, after trying and enjoying the Indian dish, I went for the chicken Florentine. I wanted to see if they got the recipe right, since I've had this particular dish many times before. And Factor did do it justice, with tasty cream sauce, really tenderish chicken, and white wine, and they even had the Parmesan on top like they do at Olive Garden. The next meal I tried was the jalapeno lime cheddar chicken. The chicken breast was actually grilled, and it was really tender, much more than I would have expected. Everything was very well seasoned, and I felt like I was getting a little bit of everything with each bite I took, so the ingredients were really well balanced. I actually really like this dish, and it's since become one of my go-tos. And lastly, I tried the black pepper and sage pork chop. And let me tell you, I've had some amazing grilled pork chops before, but the ones from Factor really come at a close second to some of the best I've had. Super tender and juicy, and the Brussels sprouts and broccoli really well cooked as well. I really enjoyed the dish. I'd rate it a 9 out of 10. Alright, so now that we've established that the food is actually surprisingly tasty, but how do we actually order and purchase their meals? Well, it's pretty fast. First, you sign up on the Factor website or mobile app and answer just a couple of questions so they can get an idea of what your dietary needs are. Then you can choose from 8 set meal preferences, which are chef's choice if you're not on a strict diet and want to sample different meal offerings. Keto, which is great if you want low carb, high fat meals. Calorie Smart, where you get meals that are under 550 calories each. Flexitarian, where you can mix and match to fit your diet. Protein Plus, which features dishes with 30 plus grams of protein. Vegan and veggie, fiber filled, and GLP-1 balanced. Then you'll choose how many meals you'd like to have delivered to you each week. The minimum is 6, but you can get up to 18 meals delivered on a weekly basis, and the more meals you order, the cheaper the price is per serving. Plus, you can order as many add-ons as you'd like for no additional delivery cost. And you'd get to choose from Factor's really big menu of 35 meal options that rotate on a weekly basis. And having taken a look at the recipes for the upcoming 2 weeks, I noticed around 3 to 5 repeated meals, so you'll always get around 30 or so new options to choose from per week. Now, a quick note for the vegans and vegetarians out there. Although the food is really great, you don't really get as much in terms of variety, and you might need to order some duplicate dishes to fill up one order. But something that I really liked about Factor is all of the options for add-ons that they can include with your order if you like extra protein portions, veggie sides, breakfast options, energy balls and desserts, fresh juices, shakes and smoothies, stuff like that. Though, while they include information about ingredients, allergens, and detailed descriptions of each meal, Factor doesn't highlight dietary restrictions like gluten-free, dairy-free, or nut-free, which I'm sure would make things a little bit easier for people if they did. But on the flip side, I do find it really impressive that a good deal of the dishes that they offer have close to 30 ingredients, all of which are easily identifiable and healthy, things like sea salt, coconut oil, and whole milk. Plus, when you go out of town or need to pause your deliveries, Factor gives you the option to skip a few weeks if you need to. And on top of that, you can get a free 20-minute consultation if you need any help figuring out which meals or meal plans might be the best for you, which is a really nice service that could help you out if you're having trouble deciding. At this point, I just want to say that if you're interested in giving Factor a try, you can use the affiliate link that's down in the description below. It doesn't cost you anything. As a matter of fact, you'll even get a bit of a discount, which you wouldn't get if you went directly to Factor's website. And as far as delivery and packaging go, the box I ordered was well insulated. It came with ice packs that kept everything really cool during transit. Now, other pre-made meal services like Fresh and Lean, for example, use a vacuum seal packaging method, which can be a little bit annoying in my opinion to unpack. But Factor uses something called modified atmosphere packaging, which is a technique used to extend the food's shelf life by adjusting the gas mixture within the container to keep the contents as fresh as possible. This is done right after the cooking process, then the meals are chilled and sent out in boxes, which can stay fresh for up to 24 hours out of the fridge. So even if you're not home to pick up the box in time, you don't have to worry about the food getting spoiled, which was new information for me. Plus, the food stays fresh for an entire week chilled in the fridge, but if you don't think you'll eat it in time, you can just throw it in the freezer and defrost it later. And yes, everything is recyclable, except for what's inside the brown paper insulation, which you can just toss in the trash. Now, let's shift gears a little bit and look at some of Factor's subscription options and how much it'd cost to order from them. So as a first-time customer, they give you 50% discount on all plans for your first box and 20% off for the next month. So if you go for 8 meals per week, you'll pay about $6 per meal, with the total cost coming to around $45. Or you can go with 10 meals per week for around $5 a meal, which comes up to just around $53. And if you're looking to get 14 meals per week, it goes down even more for a total of around $67 for your first box, but do keep in mind that these prices do vary depending on which region you're in. And if for some reason you ever need to get in touch with Factor's customer service, I found the live chat and phone support agents were really friendly and did their best to help when I interacted with them, both via chat and over the phone. But it was clear that I wasn't being assisted by native English speakers, which made for a few very tricky moments where I had to sort of rephrase the questions in a simpler way. But those were minor hiccups and I didn't have to contact them so many times, and overall they've always managed to get the issues resolved in the end. So as long as the food and service are great, I'm happy. Rest assured though, if any of your meals do arrive in bad condition, whether from higher temperatures, shipping delays, or packaging issues, you can always reach out to the customer support over email or the live chat or on the phone within 5 days of getting the meals. And they'll generally either replace the meals for you for free or offer you a partial or even a full refund. Personally, I really haven't had issues with my delivery, but I have heard a couple of pitfalls from others who've used Factor before, and Factor was more than willing to make amends in the rare instances when the third-party delivery service themselves handled the food improperly. So it's really nice to feel like their customer service is on your side. All right, now to sum things up, Factor, like every company or service, is of course not entirely without fault. And besides the outsourced customer service thing, the lack of gluten-free certification might also deter some folks for health reasons. Also, like I mentioned earlier, there's not much variety in terms of the veggie and vegan meals. And obviously, if you want to learn some hands-on cooking skills, Factor really would not be your ideal choice. And if you're sensitive to seasonings or are looking for more plain and simpler family-friendly dishes, then you might want to check out Fresh and Lean, or if you're into customizing your meals, something like MegaFit could be an option worth looking into. But having said that, would I recommend Factor? The answer is absolutely. This is arguably, in my opinion, the best pre-cooked food that I've had so far. And it's ideal for people, couples, or even families who want to eat clean, but don't have the time or consistency in their schedule to fit cooking into their routine. And that's going to be it for this review. I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, then be sure to like and subscribe to see more videos like this. As a reminder, if you want to try out Factor for your house, you can use the affiliate link in the description to get that discount that I mentioned that you wouldn't be able to get if you went directly to Factor's website. Now, as always, I enjoy hearing your thoughts, of course, so leave any questions or comments down below, and I'll try to get back to you as fast as I can. Finally, guys, thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.